Page 52. This is a lesson on harmonization. Harmony. Building harmonies, understanding harmonies, whatever. Harmony to me is like when you can hear multiple notes at the same time, like chords, whatever. Okay. So what they've done here is they've given you a melody. And there's 4 of these, 2 on this page, 2 on the next. And for the left hand, they simply want you to do the tonic and the dominant. Well, that's just wonderful as long as you understand what a tonic and dominant are. They also give you the Roman numerals for the names. So let's just cover this because they're not being, in my opinion, real clear about what's going on here. They didn't really introduce this stuff as far as I can remember. Of course, I got a lousy memory, so who knows. Let's forget the music for a bit. Let's go to C major. I like to use C major as the example because C major just uses the white keys. It's easy to see the whole steps and half steps and the whole bit. Here, C to C. Actually, it's C to B. There's only 7 notes in a key. The other one, the 8th one, is step 1 again. Sometimes we call it 8. That's one. Okay. Well, as you probably already know, each note, we call them steps. Each step of any key is numbered. 1 through 7. We don't start with 0. 1 through 7. They're all numbered. So step 5 in the key of C is that. Step 5 in the key of F would be that, because it's 5th one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're numbered. Those numbers, when given in the music, are in Roman numerals under the bottom staff. Because we got a lot of numbers in music, got to figure out how to put what where. In addition to the numbers, each step has a name. I ain't going through them all. They're covering here. The first step of a key is called the tonic. And if you build a chord on that step, like I do this, every other note here, that C chord is also known as the tonic chord in that key. So this is the tonic chord in the key of C, because it's built on step 1 or built on the tonic. It's also the 1 chord in the key of C, because one name isn't enough. They gotta have more. Well, whatever, I don't know. Well, the dominant is the 5th step. So what they're talking about is step 1 and step 5. Well, it's handy because when you're in a chord, it's the bottom and top note of the chord, of the key, assuming you're on 1 chord or a tonic chord. Confused yet? Stick around, I'm just getting started. So you just go to whatever key. Now this chord is always the C chord. It doesn't matter what the key is, it's always a C chord. But as far as dealing the name or the number, that's in relation to the key it's in. Here, this first one's in D major. D major here has 2 sharps, as F sharp and a C sharp. So a D chord is built on steps 1, 3, and 5 of that chord. It's 1, 3, and 5. Again, I'm using the notes in that key, and because it has an F sharp, not an F natural, I have to use the F sharp. Here, it's 1, 3, 5. It is the 1 chord in the key of D. It is the tonic chord in the key of D. That is the note, first step, step 1, or the tonic step. And that is the dominant. It's the 1 and 5. What they want you to do is play that in the left hand. Over and over and over. Just have a ball. Yeah, they switched it at the end. Generally, you will end on the tonic note. Most pieces will have their root or tonic note. Now, we'll want to be careful here because they're going to throw some curves at you, I'm sure. Not their fault. Music does this. You listen to the music, the melody. This is number 2. And you have to decide which note in the left hand sounds better with that. And we're doing it measure at a time. Well, at the beginning, this is fine. Then this goes. Generally, if you have these notes, or these notes, they go better with this. So they do that. But But in the third measure, I'm using the same notes. So I'm going to use the same note in the left hand. Now D. See, I'm using whatever note sounds better. If I just go back and forth, that third measure just doesn't sound right. Well, it tells me something's off. So I do the other note instead. Now at the end, the last two measures, you could actually do either one on the next to the last measure, but you probably should do the one chord or tonic on the last measure. So that second line is, I could probably stay on 5 there. Here, I could stay on both. Either one seems to work, so it's a personal thing, you decide. I think probably they want this 5-1 because we're going to get into cadences, and this is a cadence. 5-1, 5 leads into 1. We'll get to that later. Now on page 53, on the third one, we're here. This is the key of A flat major. A flat major has 4 flats, so we're up in here. I haven't mentioned it before. I should have. Shame on me. But whenever you're transposing and moving around the keys, sometimes it helps just to play the pentascale so you can hear the harmony of the key you're in. So C major's here. Hear that? But if I go to A flat major, I can hear the harmony, and it kind of gets it in my head of what I'm listening to. And so I can do that. Here, do I do this? See, that doesn't sound right. So I got to adjust the left hand a little bit. Maybe I go. That doesn't sound right either. Well, what do you do if neither one sounds right? I don't know, have a beer. I'm guessing we're going to go back and forth here, though. I'm still in the last two measures. I'm going to go 5-1 here. I could have done 1 on all of them. But I'm going to do the 5-1 for the last 2 measures of that third one. If you transpose it to another key, what do they want? B flat major. B flat major has 2 flats, a B flat and an E flat, and the rest are white keys. Just do that. So the key is... I don't know, it's up to you. The number 4, 3 flats is in the key of E flat major. E flat major, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So here goes here. Now here they didn't give you any chord for the next one. Well, you're playing the same notes in the right hand, so it's probably the same chord in the left. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. You experiment. What happens if I play a 5 in the second line, second measure? Sounds okay to me. You experiment with it. A music theorist or musicologist may insist on a certain thing, but so far as I'm concerned, if it sounds okay, go with it. So whether you're doing 1 or 5 or whatever, that's pretty much up to you as far as I'm concerned. Your teacher may have other ideas, and that's fine too. They want you to transpose this to D flat major. Well, D flat major has 5 flats. They're all flat except the F. We've had this before. Just going back and forth. You decide on the chord in the left hand which one you're going to play. That's really what it is. You can take it to other keys too. It's the same thing, using the same finger. on the hands. Again, you can look at this through the intervals too. So it's like if I go to C major here, okay, then I'm going to go here and I'm going to down a third. I'm going to stay within the key. Down a third, up a third, down a third, down a second, up a second, up a second, down a second, up a second, up a second. So I can go down and up intervals wise, and I'm just playing those intervals on the keyboard. It's another way of doing it. Then the left hand's just playing the tonic and dominant of the key or whatever it is. I'm not doing play with me's on these, but if you have questions, let me know.